Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? The internet is absolutely on fire right now with theories about when we'll see that second trailer for GTA 6, and we're here to wade through it all the articles and fan discussions, and just kind of pick out like the juiciest bits. So whether you've been following every single little leak, or you just kind of like, GTA 6, what's the big deal? We've got something for you today.
It's kind of wild how much this one game has captured people's attention. I mean, it's years away, right? Really shows you the power of a franchise like this and just dedicated fans are.
No kidding. Okay, so let's start with the theory that seems to be like the theory right now. November 22nd for the trailer. Heard of the whole Jason thing going around online?
Oh, yeah, that's the one where fans noticed, possible pattern in Rockstar's social media posts. Like if you take the first letter of each month, starting back in July,
Hold on, let me think. July, August, September.
you get JASON, which, as a lot of people are guessing,
Uh,
might be the name of our main guy in GTA 6.
Ooh, okay. Getting a little spooky now. But there's even more to it, right? Something about a license plate.
Ah, you're talking about the cheetah plate in that first trailer.
Yeah.
33-second mark, if I remember right.
Right, and some fans are saying, okay, second trailer, what if it's 2 minutes, 22 seconds long? Add that to November being the 11th month. 33 again.
It's clever, got to give them that.
Yeah.
But you got to remember Rockstar's track record here. They've pulled some seriously elaborate marketing stunts before.
So you're thinking maybe a red herring, get everyone all worked up, even if it means nothing.
Could be, but even if it's a fake out, they've got everyone super tuned in, looking for clues everywhere.
Yeah, and that kind of engagement, you can't buy that. Speaking of looking for clues, what about all the visual stuff fans are analyzing?
Yeah.
That color scheme Rockstar's been using since July, it's everywhere.
Yeah, those blues, purples, pinks.
Yeah.
It's definitely deliberate. Every image, every tweet, it's all got that same vibe.
Like, they're already pulling you into the world of the game, even though we haven't even really seen it yet. And this color scheme, I saw some theories tying it to Jason Lucia. Those are the rumored main characters, right?
Right, we haven't gotten any official confirmation on names or anything like that. But the colors, think of it like branding. Big companies do it all the time. Certain colors mean certain things. It makes you remember them, builds up that hype.
And games are all about the visuals, right? So it
Okay.
makes sense they'd start building that up early. Oh, and one more visual clue that's got everyone buzzing. The moon. Rockstar, they put out an update on November 1st.
With the waning gibbous moon, yeah.
Right. And guess what? Same moon phase we'll see on November 22nd.
Not to mention that character in the image. Looks a lot like the leaked pics of Jason. That pose is pretty similar.
Man, this is getting deep. Do you think Rockstar's just messing with us at this point, laying a false trail? Or are they actually dropping hints?
Hard to say for sure. But one thing's for sure, they've got everyone talking.
No doubt about that. Okay, so we've got dates, we've got numerology, we've got visual clues. Everyone's pointing at November 22nd like it's the day. But let's take a step back from all the guessing for a sec.
Yeah.
Rockstar, they're staying quiet, but Take-Two, they're the publisher, right? They've actually given us some real info to work with.
Oh, yeah. During their Q2 2025 earnings call, they made it official. GTA 6, coming fall 2025. That's the window we've all been waiting for.
So that at least lines up with all this trailer hype. And knowing Take-Two, they're not expecting this to just yeah, okay. They're expecting this to be huge EE.
Absolutely. The projections they've put out there, it's massive. It means the game's got to be pretty far along in development. I mean, think about it. Past GTA games, they've consistently broken records, set new standards for the whole industry.
So yeah, they're not playing around with this one. Which brings us to another big question. Is this thing actually going to run well on all the consoles? There's been a lot of talk about the Xbox Series S specifically, right? Since it's not as powerful as the Series X.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We've
Yeah.
seen other games where the Series S has, caused some problems because of those limitations.
Right, like developers having to cut corners or whatever. But Take-Two's CEO, Strauss Zelnick, he actually addressed that head on, said he's confident GTA 6 will be smooth sailing on all platforms.
He's basically saying, trust Rockstar, they know what they're doing. And to be fair, they do have a pretty good track record when it comes to making their games look good and run well, even on different hardware. But still, even with all their expertise, the Series S might mean some compromises. To get that smooth gameplay, maybe we're talking slightly lower resolution, maybe things in the distance don't look quite as detailed.
Right, so maybe like an initial release, and then later on they do an enhanced version, like they've done with some of the other GTA games. Something to think about, right?
For sure. It's all about balancing how good the game looks with how well it plays. And Rockstar, they always aim for that immersive, visually stunning experience, but they also want everyone to be able to play no matter what console they have.
Okay, so we've got release windows, we've got clues about the setting, we've talked graphics, gameplay, all that good stuff. But there's one big piece of the puzzle we haven't really dug into yet, the story. Who are these characters, Jason and Lucia? What kind of world are they operating in?
Ah, yes, the narrative. That's the heart and soul of any GTA game. Rockstar, they're being pretty secretive about this one, naturally. But you know how it is. Leaks and rumors are all over the place. And from what we're hearing, it's sounding pretty ambitious. Betrayal, ambition, maybe even a little bit of romance.
A love story in GTA. Now, that's something I haven't seen before.
Imagine it, like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of duo, working their way through the criminal underworld of Vice City, their loyalty to each other constantly tested, all that chaos and violence swirling around them.
And set against the backdrop of Vice City, all those neon lights and that 80s vibe. Yeah, that could be epic. Definitely has the potential to be a really emotionally powerful story.
We're going to have to wait for Rockstar to officially spill the beans before we can really dissect the story, though.
I know, the anticipation is killing me. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's still so much we don't know. What are, like, the big unanswered questions that you're most curious about?
Honestly, the big one for me is how they're going to handle the whole social commentary aspect. That's always been a big part of GTA, right?
Yeah.
But we're in a different world now than we were back in the 80s when Vice City was first a thing. How are they going to tackle the issues of today, all the challenges and controversies, in a way that feels real and engaging?
That's a great point. GTA has always been about holding up a mirror to society, showing us the good, the bad, the ugly, often in a satirical way. It'll be really interesting to see how they approach that in GTA 6, especially with everything going on in the world right now.
It's a tightrope walk, for sure. They have to find that balance between the humor, the over-the-top action, and the social commentary that the series is known for.
Yeah, and it has to feel authentic, it has to make you think, and they can't shy away from the tough topics either.
Absolutely. It's a tough challenge, but if any studio can do it, it's Rockstar. They've got a history of pushing the envelope, of making people think and talk about important issues through their games.
And that's part of what makes the GTA series so captivating, right? It's not just about entertainment, it's about making you think, about making you question things.
And GTA, even with all the craziness and the satire, it's always done that. It's pushed the boundaries of what video games can be in terms of how they look, how they play, and what they're about. And with GTA 6, it really feels like they're trying to do it again, but bigger and better than ever before.
The hype is definitely real, the pressure's on for Rockstar to deliver, but I have a good feeling about this one.
Me too. They've proven time and time again that they're masters of their craft, and I'm confident GTA 6 is going to be another game changer.
We've been talking about all this anticipation and hype, but let's not forget what's at the heart of it all, the game itself. What can you tell us about the technical side of things? What can we expect from GTA 6 in terms of graphics and gameplay?
Well, based on the little we've seen so far, and what some folks in the industry are saying, it's safe to say that Rockstar is pushing the limits, as always.
Yeah.
I mean, picture a massive open world, probably even bigger and more detailed than anything they've done before.
That first trailer, it looked incredible, but technology has come a long way since then. What kind of jump in graphics can we realistically expect?
Oh, big one, definitely. Imagine lighting and shadows that look almost real, environments packed with tiny little details and characters so lifelike you could practically reach out and touch them. We're talking about a whole new level of realism here.
Okay, now you've got me excited. But what about the gameplay itself? Will it be more of the same GTA formula that we know and love, or are they introducing any new mechanics that'll change how we experience the game?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Rockstar's been pretty tight-lipped about the specifics, but the rumor mill is churning. There's talk about improved driving physics, which could make those high-speed chases even more intense.
Okay, I'm already sold. What else?
Well, some people are saying that combat will be more realistic. Maybe taking some cues from Rockstar's other big hit, Red Dead Redemption, and there's even speculation that they're going to lean more into role-playing elements, giving players more choices that actually affect the story and the game world.
So instead of just following a set path, our decisions could actually have a real impact on the game. That would be amazing.
Exactly. Imagine your actions influencing everything from the city's economy to your relationships with other characters. It could make for a totally dynamic and unpredictable experience where every time you play, it feels different.
You're just making me more and more hyped for this game. But let's be real here for a second. Developing a game of this scale with all these ambitious features, it's got to be a massive undertaking. How are they even pulling it off?
It's no walk in the park, that's for sure. Rockstar's got multiple studios all over the world working on this project. They've reportedly been at it for years, pouring in tons of resources and talent. And then there are the rumors about their motion capture technology, which is supposedly super advanced.
I've heard they're using some cutting-edge techniques to capture facial expressions and body language with a level of detail we've never seen before.
That's right. It's all about making that line between virtual and real disappear, creating characters that not only look amazing, but also feel real, characters that you connect with emotionally.
It's mind-blowing to think about the level of detail they're putting into every aspect of this game.
And that's what makes Rockstar different. They're obsessed with quality, with pushing the boundaries of what's possible in video games. It's pretty remarkable, actually.
It's why their games are so incredibly immersive. You really do feel like you're stepping into another world. And speaking of worlds, the rumor mill is churning about a return to a fan-favorite location, Vice City.
Ah, yes, Vice City. All that neon, that 80s vibe. The fans have been begging for this for years.
What do we actually know about where GTA 6 takes place? Is it just Vice City, or are there other areas we might get to explore?
Well, Rockstar hasn't officially confirmed anything,
Right.
but the leaks and rumors point to a pretty massive map. It might include not just Vice City itself, but also the surrounding areas. Imagine cruising down Ocean Drive 1 minute and then exploring the swamps of the Everglades the next.
Wow, so we could be looking at a mix of urban sprawl, beaches, swamps, maybe even some countryside. That kind of environmental variety would be a first for a GTA game. Think about the possibilities.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the soundtrack. GTA games are known for their awesome music, and going back to Vice City opens up a whole world of 80s tunes. Imagine driving around with classic synthwave and 80s rock blasting on the radio.
I can practically hear it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the possible release window, we've gotten some clues about the setting, and we've speculated about the graphics and gameplay, but there's one crucial piece of the puzzle that we haven't delved into yet. The story. Who are these characters, Jason and Lucia? What's their story?
Ah, the narrative. The heart and soul of any great GTA game. And of course, Rockstar is being very tight-lipped about it. But if the leaks and rumors are anything to go by, we're in for a story of ambition, betrayal, and maybe even a touch of romance.
A love story in GTA. That's a new one.
Picture this, a Bonnie and Clyde-esque duo, navigating the criminal underworld of Vice City, their loyalty to each other constantly tested amidst all the chaos and violence.
And all set against that vibrant, neon-soaked backdrop of Vice City. It sounds like it has the potential to be a truly epic and emotionally charged story.
We'll have to wait for Rockstar to make it official before we can really get into the nitty-gritty of the story. But until then, the speculation and anticipation are all part of the fun.
True that. The anticipation is definitely building. We've covered a lot of ground here, but so much is still shrouded in mystery. What are some of the big unanswered questions that you're most curious about?
For me, the big one is how they're going to handle the social and political commentary that's become such a signature of the GTA series. We're living in a very different world than we were back in the 80s when Vice City was first conceived. How are they going to address the issues of today, the challenges, the controversies, in a way that feels both relevant and engaging?
That's a great point. GTA has always held up a mirror to society, offering a satirical take on our world, warts and all. It'll be fascinating to see how they approach that in GTA 6, especially given the current social and political climate.
It's a delicate balance, for sure. They'll need to find a way to blend the humor, the over-the-top action, and the sharp social commentary that the series is known for.
Exactly. And they need to do it in a way that feels authentic and thought-provoking, without shying away from difficult conversations.
Precisely. It's a tall order, but if any studio can pull it off, it's Rockstar. They have a history of pushing boundaries and sparking important conversations through their games.
And that's part of what makes the GTA series so compelling. It's not just about entertainment. It's about making us think, about challenging our perspectives on the world around us.
And with GTA 6, I have a feeling they're aiming to do just that. They're not just creating a game. They're crafting an experience that will stay with us long after the credits roll.
It's true. The expectations are sky high and the pressure is on for Rockstar to deliver, but I have a feeling they're going to knock it out of the park.
I agree. They've proven time and again that they're masters of their craft, and I have no doubt that GTA 6 will be another groundbreaking entry in the series.
It's crazy how, even the smallest things can get fans so fired up, you know?
I know, right? It just shows how excited everyone is, how much they care about GTA. It's more than just a game at this point. It's like
Yeah.
a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, totally. It's like we're all putting together a puzzle and Rockstar's just dropping these tiny pieces here and there to keep us guessing. But let's, for a minute, forget about all the hype and speculation and focus on the actual game itself. Like, what about the technical stuff? What can we expect from GTA 6 in terms of graphics and gameplay?
Well, based on what we've seen and what people are saying who know a thing or two about game development, it's pretty safe to say Rockstar's pushing the boundaries like they always do. Imagine a massive open world, maybe even bigger and more detailed than anything they've ever done before.
Yeah, the first trailer looked amazing, but technology's come a long way since then. Like, how big of a jump in graphics can we expect?
Oh, it'll be noticeable, that's for sure. Think about lighting and shadows that look almost real. Environments packed with tiny details you could spend hours just looking at. And characters that look so lifelike you could almost reach out and touch them. We're talking next level realism.
Okay, now I'm getting hyped. But what about the gameplay itself? Is it going to be more of the same GTA formula that we all know and love? Or are they changing things up, adding new mechanics or whatever?
That's the big question, isn't it? Rockstar's being pretty tight-lipped about those details, but there are rumors floating around. Like, people are saying they've really improved the driving physics, so those crazy car chases might feel even more intense.
Okay, stop. I'm already sold. What else?
Well, there's talk of more realistic combat, too. Maybe taking some inspiration from Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar's other big franchise. And some people are even saying that they're going to focus more on role-playing elements, giving players more choices that actually affect the story and the game world.
Wait, so you're saying that instead of just following a set path, our choices could actually change how the game plays out? That would be awesome.
Exactly. Imagine your actions influencing everything from the city's economy to your relationships with other characters. It can make for a totally different experience each time you play.
Man, you're making this game sound better and better. But let's be real here. Making a game this big with all these crazy features, it's a huge job. How are they even doing it?
It's definitely not easy. Rockstar has multiple studios all over the world working on this. I've heard they've been at it for years, pouring in tons of money and talent. And then there are the rumors about their motion capture technology, which is supposed to be super advanced.
Yeah, I read somewhere that they're using some crazy new techniques to capture facial expressions and body language with more detail than ever before.
That's the idea. They want to blur the line between real life and the game so the characters don't just look real, they feel real too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can actually connect with them on an emotional level.
It's crazy to think about how much work goes into every little detail of these games.
That's Rockstar's thing, though. They're obsessed with quality, with pushing the limits of what video games can do. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's why their games are so immersive. You really feel like you're in another world. Speaking of worlds, there's a lot of talk about GTA 6 taking us back to a familiar place, Vice City.
Oh yeah, Vice City. That 80s vibe, the neon lights, the music. Fans have been dreaming about this for years.
So, what do we know about where GTA 6 is actually set? Is it just Vice City, or are we talking multiple locations?
Rockstar hasn't confirmed anything officially, but if you believe the rumors, the map is going to be huge. We might be talking about not just Vice City itself, but the surrounding areas too. Picture yourself driving down Ocean Drive 1 minute, then exploring the swamps of the Everglades the next.
Wow, so a mix of city, beaches, swamps, maybe even some countryside. That's a level of variety we've never seen in a GTA game before. Think of all the possibilities.
Exactly. And don't forget the music. GTA games always have amazing soundtracks. And going back to Vice City means we'll probably get to hear a ton of classic 80s tunes. Imagine cruising around with some synthwave or 80s rock blasting on the radio.
That's the dream. Okay, so we've talked about the possible release date, the setting, the graphics, the gameplay, but there's one big piece of the puzzle missing, the story. What can you tell us about Jason and Lucia? What's their deal?
The story. The heart of any good GTA game. Of course, Rockstar's keeping that under wraps for now, but based on what's leaked out, it sounds like we're in for a wild ride. We're talking ambition, betrayal, double-crossing, and maybe even a little bit of romance.
A love story in GTA. Now, that's something I didn't see coming.
Imagine it. A modern-day Bonnie and Clyde, fighting their way through the criminal underworld of Vice City. The pressure's on, their loyalty is tested, and all around them is chaos. It could be epic.
Yeah, sounds like it has the potential to be a really powerful story.
We'll have to wait for Rockstar to officially reveal the story, but until then, it's fun to speculate. It's all part of the experience,
You
right?
got that right. So we've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much we don't know. What are you most curious about? Like, what are the big questions you're hoping Rockstar answers soon?
You know, the thing I keep coming back to is the social commentary. GTA has always been about more than just mindless action. It's always had something to say about society, about the world we live in. But we're living in a different world now than we were back in the 80s. How are they going to address that? How will they tackle the big issues of today in a way that feels relevant and engaging?
It's wild to think about, right? GTA's impact goes way beyond just being a video game.
Oh, absolutely. It's become like a cultural icon.
Yeah.
Influencing music, fashion, even how we think about what video games can be.
Seriously, like, can you imagine the gaming world without GTA? Would we even have open world games as we know them if it wasn't for GTA?
That's a good question. GTA 3 back in 2001, that was a game changer. Remember that feeling of freedom? That huge city you could explore, do whatever you wanted? That was groundbreaking.
It was like you were actually stepping into another world and you were in control.
Exactly. And that kind of freedom, that open world gameplay, so many games have copied that since then.
Yeah, from Saints Row to Watch Dogs, you see GTA's influence everywhere.
It's not just the gameplay, though. It's the attitude, the humor, that willingness to tackle mature themes. GTA showed that games could be more than just fun. They could be about something real.
Yeah, like they could be a platform for social commentary, satire, exploring the darker side of things.
And that's always been a bit controversial, hasn't
No,
it?
for sure. GTA has never been afraid to push buttons, you know? The violence, the satire, making fun of everything from pop culture to politics. It's a series that knows how to get people talking.
And that shows how much of an impact it's had, right?
Mhm.
People wouldn't be so passionate about it if it didn't touch on something real, something that resonates with them.
Some people say the games glorify violence and crime, but others see them as a reflection of society, like a commentary on the darker side of things.
It's definitely complicated, and there's no easy answer.
Hmm.
But the fact that it makes people think, makes them question things, that's important.
It makes us look at ourselves and the world around us, even the stuff we don't always want to see.
And that's what good art does, right? It challenges us,
Mhm.
makes us question our beliefs, makes us think differently.
And GTA, even with all the over-the-top stuff, it's always done that. It's changed the way we think about video games.
And with GTA 6, it feels like they're trying to do it again, but on an even bigger scale.
The hype is real. The expectations are through the roof. What's this new game going to bring? How's it going to change the franchise?
We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, GTA 6 is more than just a game. It's going to be an event.
It shows you the power of this franchise, how it captures our imaginations, how it gets people talking.
So while we're waiting for GTA 6 to finally drop, let's not forget what makes this series so great. That boldness, the ambition, the willingness to take risks.
Yeah, and let's be ready for the conversations it's going to start, the questions it's going to raise. Because GTA 6, it's more than just a game. It's a reflection of us, of the world we live in.
That's a perfect way to put it. GTA has always held up a mirror to society, and I don't think this new one will be any different. I can't wait to see how they tackle the world today, what kind of conversations they spark.
And that's a wrap for our deep dive into the world of GTA 6. We've gone through all the hype, all the theories, all the possibilities. Now it's up to you to decide what you believe and how you're going to experience this next chapter in the GTA saga. Keep those theories coming, and we'll be back to break it all down when GTA 6 finally arrives. Until then, happy gaming.